So while I was saying what I had to say to this guy, telling him I would bash him and mother and something, mother cunt, and I started talking like them. It's two different kind of cuss outs. I can go to my American one and they will just all be looking at me, or I can start sounding just like them and they'd be like, what? She know how to cuss you out in the dialect? So I went to theirs. And the officer turned to me and said, if you don't calm down, I'm going to arrest you for something. I want to say disorderly conduct, but he didn't say disorderly conduct. He said something verbal. Verbal something. And I looked at him and said, and walked off. Like, I knew you was going to flip it on me, you incompetent son of a sea biscuit. I'm over here asking you, what do I do? But I did kind of go off. It don't matter. You went over there trying to talk some lully, gully, dolly, dose stuff to this illiterate drunk. Anyway, that's the only way I've ever seen them operate on the two islands I've lived on. This one is almost 8 years. The last one was 3 years. So that's 11 years I've had to witness the police in the Caribbean. Welcome to Grenada's finest. So if you think you're going to need to be protected in any way, this might not be the place for you. Now, I know in America, they just shooting and killing us. Sometimes it's the other color attacking us, and sometimes it's us attacking us. In more cases, so here you're going to have us, because it's 98% African. But the mindset is of the stolen African. You dealing with that stolen African mindset that don't even know they African. Queen Elizabeth, excuse my language, Queen Elizabeth said, call yourself Grenadian. I don't even want you to know you African. That way you won't have a problem attacking. I'm sorry, it's the truth. If you don't like this one, you might want to move on to another set that's not speaking the truth. Because last time the young lady, why are you making our country look bad? Girl, get off my channel. So I'm just trying to put everything nice, but that's been the gist of my day with the incompetent police again. You know, I wonder on many days, as much as I love living foreign, will I be able to live? Or how much longer will I be able to live? So, love and respect, thank you for allowing me to share. Please share make your comments. Share what you need to share. I would love to hear from you. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Let's start a conversation. If you've had any experience on any island, how was the police? If you live here in Grenada, how do you find the police? If you lived in Antigua, what was your experience with the police? And I really would like to hear some of those who really got down. Like if you had to get down with them, if you had to call on them, if you're trying to do the right thing to save yourself, keep yourself. Because I know who I am. I ain't going to let nothing happen to me. And if you've had to experience jail in the Caribbean, if you had to go up against the police. Wait a minute, before I leave, I talked to a guy today, and a guy went to jail here because he snatched the police's gun and boxed him upside his head and served 8 years in jail. And I said, for real? You did that shit? Guess what? They deserve it. Somebody need to box them up somewhere because nobody has taught them how to handle simple domestic dispute call now out on the street. Trying to do this thing. Is it their fault or is it somebody else's? I'm just saying. Please like, subscribe, and share. Have a blissful day. I'm sorry. So all I'm saying, if I don't have a Glock or if I can't call for backup, then it's real clear. So I kind of, I'm sure they've stepped their game up now. It's like I said, it's been 13 years, but now I'm here on the island, so I get to see it again. And I'm already familiar with the behavior, the culture. Oh, I had a friend before she passed. She said, Natural, you're not dating a man. You're dating a culture. And so we're not talking about that right now. But the police, they shouldn't even be. For what? If you can't solve a simple domestic dispute call, if you can, I went to them today to ask them, because this guy, who I really shouldn't, let me talk about my part, I really shouldn't even have tried to be, it's a whole lot of addiction and alcoholism. And just for those that don't know, alcohol is a drug. Everybody can't drink and go home and have a good time. So I'm around, my workspace is surrounded, because I'm downtown Grenada, the heart of the hub. You will run into alcoholism. And it's this one guy who's a straight drunk. I'm sorry, I can't call him nothing else. And you know, he's just too big and tall and shiny to be running around drunk every day. It's like me. I'm 6'1". I'm a grateful recovering addict. I'm clear why I had no relapse story. Because first of all, I'm too damn big to be walking around dragging drunk. And for some reason, he always focuses in on me. And normally, I'm centered enough to understand that alcoholism is a sickness. I'm usually centered. I'll be like, half the time I don't even respond. Half the time I bust out laughing. But he caught me today, and it wasn't a good day. Because I spent the morning yesterday in court. You know, the husband and I are going through this court battle. And I didn't leave feeling so good yesterday. I talked to my lawyer this morning, and she gave me some, she said, I know it gets overwhelming, but don't get distracted. And then I was back on point, you know. But this fool chimed in because he's friends with the man's last name I carry. And he was repeating everything that happened in court. So I know it had to come from him because he wasn't there, you know. And it triggered me. And so I said, let me go to the police officer and ask him, what should I do? Because when you're in other people's countries and you've already been to jail, I went to jail in Antigua. Oh, maybe that could be a story time. I went to jail in Antigua, so I already know what that experience is. You don't want to experience it on no island, okay? Because I got triggered. So this time it triggered. And it's still fresh from yesterday. I just told you I wasn't feeling so good today. I was processing the whole thing. You know, because really, who wants to be fighting and get somebody that was supposed to love you? You know. So it was just wrong time, wrong place, wrong day. And I went and asked the officer, what should I do, officer? So he said, who? Called his name, like, and he was walking to him. And I was behind him, and he started trying to talk to him with some logic. Come on, officer, he's a fucking drunk. Logic at this point? And so I went over to the police officer. I said, listen, you say something one more time to me, I'm going to pick up something and bash you. And the person I used to be years ago. But remember, if you used to be somebody, that person lives inside of you. They're just suppressed. They're suppressed. So you always got to be on guard. You always got to be doing the self-work. Because it ain't got nothing to do with nobody else about how you react to something and end up somewhere and wonder how you got there. See, I had these experiences already. I'm already familiar with this shit. So I lost. So blissful, blissful, blissful afternoon, beautiful people. How is everyone? So, YouTube, welcome. You know, my channel is a channel that comes with the truth. My truth. We don't put a lot of sugar coating on things. It's the reason why we had to stop and start over again, because every time I would say certain things, like United Snakes America or something like that, I would look and my numbers would drop on my... Just stuff. You know, so we curved a lot of stuff. And I just wanted to, I don't know if you can call it story time, you can call it I've had it, you can call it the moment before she leaves. Listen, anybody that has been following Natural knows that I've lived quite a few places. Quite a few places. Excuse me if you hear the sound of the fan, but it's really hot. And places that I live are really, really underdeveloped in certain areas. Let's curtail. Let's be real careful of our wording. Real under. They even call us, a lot of places I live, they call us third world countries. Let's just keep it real. Now, I beg to differ on a lot of that because the places I live offer so much that big countries like America and UK could never measure up to or add up to, especially when it comes to how we heal. You know, the Western medicines that give you side effects, make you worse, and eventually kill you, or the natural meds that keep you because you know you don't have all those things, don't want all those things. And it may be like treatments for cancer. Might have 8 slots here, where in America they have to treat you. So those type of comparisons. So today's message is the police. Now, anybody that knows me, and probably a lot of people throughout the world, a lot of people I know, nobody really has good feelings about the police, especially in America. So the situation in places I've lived, and those places are Caribbean and Africa. Right now, everybody knows where I am, Caribbean. Now, I've lived on more than one Caribbean island, but the police are the same. It's like dead weight. Dead weight. Dead meat. You ever tried to carry a dead body? I mean, well, not a dead body, but dead weight is what I'm saying. You ever tried to carry dead weight? Like, if you ever assisted somebody. I seen a man almost drown the other day, and I watched the lifeguards. I seen the struggle because it was dead weight. Plus, he was wet, and he couldn't move because his body had cramped. That's dead weight. Like you can do nothing for yourself or anybody around you. Dead weight. Now, I don't know how our Caribbean police have gotten to a place that they're at, but dead weight. Dead weight in Antigua. Dead weight here in Grenada. Now, I visited Antigua, my old country where I lived for 3 years. I visited them, and I had met up with a few of my students. You know, I was a grade 6 school teacher when I was there, and the experience was amazing, changed my life. Like, they still follow me on Facebook. They're wonderful. So when I went back after 13 years, I went back like just a little between COVID, got jammed up in Barbados. I don't know if y'all remember that experience, but I shared it. And a couple of them were police officers. They were chefs. They were mothers. Just beautiful fathers. And they came looking for me. They came and checked me. And I was so honored. So one had just passed his police exam, and the other one was already in. And you know, Darren, if you're watching this, I love you. And if I didn't say it to you then, I'm saying it to you now. Please try to make a difference in your country. Please don't end up like all the other police officers, and I know you know what I'm talking about. Lazy, lackadaisic. When I understood Antigua's, because when I was there, they didn't even have walkie-talkies for backup. So I'm not showing up at no domestic dispute call without properly equipped either. If I ain't got a Glock or something,